Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, with a week to go, what does the general election campaign tell us about the state of Britain? Joining me now is the editor of The Spectator magazine, Fraser Nelson, whose latest edition is headed General Shambles, and the writer Will Self. His latest novel, Phone, examines our relationship with technology and its impact on modern life. Will Self, what does the state of this campaign, which is a pretty unedifying spectacle, tell us?
Divided and deluded country. If it weren't for the remnants of a civil society that was built up over centuries and an innate kind of politesse, I think, in the British people, we'd be at war with each other. Our political and electoral system is not fit for purpose. It doesn't articulate the views that we have. It doesn't provide the opportunities for consensus. And both the main parties are majorly deluded about the state we're in.
But you have wanted to put a bomb under things, haven't you? I mean, politically, you've wanted change. You've been on this programme saying, you liked the idea of Corbyn at one point because you liked the idea of sort of the whole thing crumbling. What do you think now? Where do you stand now on Corbyn?
I rather naughtily voted, dobbed up my £3 and voted for Corbyn because I wanted a split in the Labour Party, because I wanted a left-wing party that backed Brexit and a left-wing party that was pro-EU, just as we require that on the right. Well, we haven't quite got it, no.
Fraser Nelson.
That's not though. I actually think that Britain, look, compare it to most countries in Europe, Britain's got a pretty stable democracy. Where are the populist parties? Nowhere, dying on their feet. Almost any other country in the continent, populism is a real problem. Here, the BNP, dead, UKIP, disintegrating. We're seeing the re-emergence of a two-party system. It seemed to be fracturing at the last general election. Now it's coming together, interestingly benefiting Labour rather than the Conservatives. Labour's gone from 30% to about 37% during this campaign. Theresa May's lead has been cut from 22 points down to 5. So the Tories are feeling very nervous because we didn't expect the election to be a catalyst that would restore where things were a few years ago, a two-party system with Labour supported by about a third of the country. So Jeremy Corbyn doesn't put off nearly as many people as those in Westminster would have thought he did.
But don't you have a Conservative Party that seems genteel as ever, but is in fact rather right-wing and rather populist now in terms of what it's offering?
Oh, I wish that were true, really. The last Conservative manifesto annexed huge amounts of Labour territory with the highest minimum wage in Europe, the diktats to energy companies. It was a lurch to the left, hoping to win Labour voters, not very successfully. Now, you might think Brexit is inherently right-wing. A lot of Labour Party members would disagree with you, but the Conservative Party is the party of Brexit right now. The strange thing is that the Lib Dems tried to be the party of Remain. It got them absolutely nowhere. So it doesn't seem as if that Brexit dividing line is really having much impact in this general election.
Are we still in the phase where things haven't happened yet?
Yeah, and Fraser talks from the position of being an insider. He's an editor of a political magazine. He's deeply engaged in this campaign and its minutiae in this kind of fast-moving situation now. But I don't think, the point is our electoral process and our political process, whatever you say about thriving democracy and all of this, is not really articulating real opinions at the moment. And what we actually have, very choppy waters ahead. Everything that's come has not been the result of actually people making decisions. It's been unforeseen consequences, largely the unforeseen constitutional tinkering of successive prime ministers that have taken us to this place. You as a Scot presumably feel uneasy about the state of the Union. The British state has no legitimacy other than the 1704 Act.
It's just true, isn't it, that politicians are in a strange place at the moment, unable to connect.
Yeah, and
from all sides.
And everything feels very, very kind of like you've been smacked around the face with a wet fish, and your head is ringing.
I think in England, the electorate is underwhelmed by this pretty bad political debate, pretty bad leaders, pretty bad quality of argument. In Scotland, far different story, far better quality of leaders, far better quality of argument. It is the best political show right now is happening north of the border. People don't like general elections called unnecessarily. And we can't, even now, it's not quite clear what's this burning issue that Theresa May wants to convey. She's fought this very boring campaign, very sort of me, this is my party, vote for Theresa May's hand. And then she did this sort of tragicomic
Do you think she might
U-turn.
lose?
Well, it is conceivable, but very unlikely.
I think she does represent Britain at the moment in her inability to stand up and say what she believes.
We've got to leave it there. Thank you both very much, John.
I've been